Hi, good morning everyone. Hope you can see my screen and you can hear me. Okay, today is the 12th session. We will see data types in this session. So, yesterday we have created one object called policies. In this object, we are creating record. Here we are entering some data. Policy name is the label name. This is the field name. Here we have some checkbox. In this checkbox, we are entering some data. I have entered new incidents. Even if you go to classic, if you want to create any account record, whenever we go to these tabs, that means we are going to one object. Inside one object, we are going to save data. For that, we are going to create a record. We'll create one new record. Here left side, it is showing field names. All these are field names in object. Field names nothing but column names in object. Account name, account number, parent account, account site, rating, phone, fax, website, trigger symbol, all these we are seeing. These are the field names. Beside that, there is a box to input. Here one box is there for this red mark. That means it is mandatory. Here parent account is there. For this, we are seeing one search button here, lookup icon. Here for type, some options they have given. For ownership, some options they have given. Like this, see this billing street. This has some lengthy box. Like this. It doesn't have, it has only small box. There is some symbol. Why it is showing like this for different fields, different options to enter data? Here description, if you see, this is a lengthy box. So why these are showing like this beside these field names? Only because of data types. These are the standard object. This is the standard tab. This is the standard object provided by Salesforce. They have given this kind of facility to enter data. To enter data here, behind there should be some definition for this. When we write account name, it is taking text. When we give number, we are entering 1, 2, 3, 4. Even if we enter text, it will take. It will take even if you enter text in number. But we have to know for which kind of box, which data type is behind there, which type of data type we have to give. Salesforce has given standard object. For that, they have provided standard tab. They have created it by default because it is standard. They have provided this. But if we create our own object, we have our own object policies. This is custom object which we have created. For this as well, when it is displaying like this, we have given this while creating object for this field policy name. For UI, we have given policy name and we have given text. In yesterday's session, if you see, if you check in yesterday's session, while creating the object, we have given for UI, we have given this. When name come, name option has given. That time we have given text box as data type. Data type we have selected. It is showing text or number in the pick list. When this field comes while creating the object in one screen, it has given, we will see that. And even I have given one question yesterday. What are the two fields shown in UI when we are creating record? This is name and bonus. For name, we have selected text. That's why for policy name here, like this, it was there. Label name is policy name and data type is text. If you would have practiced, if you would have answered this question, by this time you would have understood. Okay. For every, while creating the field, we have created object and we have to create fields as well. If you take this, you have created one object. For every object, there are 5 standard fields. One is ID, name, owner, created by, last modified by. Name must be there for every object. When you create, name will be there. Without name, we cannot create object. That is the policy name. We have given policy name as label. For this label name, we have selected text data type. That's why it is giving like this. And this is a mandatory field we are seeing here. We have not mentioned, but automatically it is mandatory. When you create object, that time it is mandatory. Five fields are mandatory. In that name field, we will input and data type. We have given while creating the field. This only we have to give. Remaining 4 fields, Salesforce automatically it will do. Salesforce generates. But for this field only we have given name and data type. Name as policy name, data type as text. So while creating field in the object, need to select data type. We have to create our fields. Once we create object, for that object, we need to create fields. Every object contains fields. Those fields are not limited. You can create any number of fields. You can create any number of fields. So there are thousands of fields in an object. In real time. There are thousands of fields. If you take this screen, accounts tab, here we have only one field right now. If you take accounts object, accounts tab, if you click on new, we are seeing a lot of fields here. All these are fields. They have organized these fields by using. Basangoda, you have any questions? They have organized this fields by using page layout. After completing data types, we will go to page layout section. Page layout section will be there after these data types. When we create fields, it will come one by one. All these fields come one by one. Here we have organized in two columns. They have organized in two columns. One column this side, one column this side. And they have divided into different sections: account section, address information section, additional information section. In this, they have kept all these fields. While creating the field, Salesforce has given account name as name for this field. And when there is red mark, they have made it mandatory. And this is the text box they have given. They have defined it while creating the field. Same thing we have to do as a developer and administrator. While creating the field in the object, need to select the data type. Data type describes type of data values field can store. What type of data? Whether it is a text or it is number or email, phone number. Like this, there are different data types. They are providing 19 kinds of data types. Salesforce is providing 19 data types. Nineteen data types they are providing. So this one, what is data type? Data type describes type of data or values field can store. And when we define data type, end user can enter only the type of data which is defined for data type. If we define data type with text, we can enter text data. If we define data with number, then it allows only number. If we define data with email, for example, if you have selected data type as email and you are giving ABC 1, 2, 3, it won't allow because there is no @ email contains @ you can enter ABC @ 1, 2, 3, it will take. If you don't enter @ it will say enter valid email ID. So based on the data type we have defined while creating the field, end user can enter only that kind of data. Application won't allow if we enter other data. There is one more field called currency. You have mentioned in dollars while creating the application. If you enter 1, 2, 3 or 10, it will take $10. It won't take INR. Because you have defined your application, you have defined your client, by default it is dollar. If you select INR, then it will be, if you enter 10 in the currency field, it will take as INR. Can you hear me? I lost the internet connection and it reconnected. Somebody can say yes.
Yes, sir. You are audible, sir.
So Salesforce is providing 19 data types. So to define a field, first step you have to create a field. When you create field, first time you have to select, to create a field, you need to select data type first. To create a field, you have to select, first step is select data type. There are different ways to create fields. There are 3 ways to create field. If you want to create a field, you have created one custom object named policy. You have created this custom tab and custom object. We have already one field in this object. You have one field, policy name. You want to create more fields. Why we want more fields? We have got requirement from client. We have got this requirement from client. You got this user story. As a Salesforce administrator, you have got requirement. What is that requirement is? Create custom object policy with custom tab policies. Create following fields. This requirement you get from client. They mention those field names. First name, last name, date of birth, gender. They want to have one insurance policy application. In that application, they want one policy object. For that, they want policy tab because they want to enter input from end user from their side. So they want to create 42 fields. That time they don't say, okay, for first name, you give this field text. They don't say this. They just mention their field names. What field names they want. Their business team, their team will sit together, their technical team, and they will decide which fields they want in the application. So they will send this. This will be assigned to as user story. Your team lead or product manager will assign this user story with the number to you. They create user story something 005. They will assign this user story. Admin or developer. Developer will do both activities, administration and programming. If you are only admin, they will ask you to do only admin activities. So these 42 fields they will send to you. You have to prepare one document like this. You have to decide sections we will mention later. So in page loads, you have to prepare one document like this. First name, last name, date of birth. Data entry, yes or no, because you are allowing user to enter data or not. Because if you go to accounts, create new record, for some fields, we don't enter data. See this, Y male, female, pick list. Whenever there is pick list, there is no or empty. For pick list, you will select it. And here one more column, mandatory. Yes. If it is yes, means it is mandatory field. You must enter that field. Here red mark is there. That means it is mandatory. You are entering this data here. Here you are not entering data, you are selecting because it is pick list. It is pick list. You are not entering data, you are just selecting. Whenever there is pick list, there will be no entry. For pick list, there will be yes, data entry will be no. If it is mandatory field, red mark, that means you must enter. Without entering, if you try to save, it will give error message. You need to enter this data. Observe when we click on Visualforce page, this is a Visualforce page. It is the classic. It is in classic. That's why it is loading entire page. If you are in Lightning, it will load only that particular component. See this, you must enter a value because this is mandatory field. You have to mention that. Is it data entry, pick list or mandatory? You have to mention that field name here with serial number. So there are 41, some 41 fields are available. Okay. You have to divide into sections. Write down. This is the customer demographic details. These are the basic details of the customer. 1 to 16. Occupation details. It is professional details. Occupation type, employment sector, company name, company address, office phone number, employment details. All these are in one section, occupation details. Other information, product preference, which type of policy he is interested in, how many years he wants to have policy, premium preferred range per annum, how much he can pay, what requirements he has for insurance policy, whether he has any current insurance policy details. You have to divide this into different sections. So you have to think about this requirement. And you have to finish this requirement. Remember this: serial number, field name, data entry, yes or no, pick list mandatory. Serial number, field name, data entry, pick list mandatory. Serial number 1, field name, some first name. Data entry, you are going to enter data or not? User can enter data or yes, he has to enter. It is not pick list. No. Is it mandatory? Yeah, without first name, what we will do? It is mandatory. Like this, you can mention email. Data entry, yes. Pick list, no. Mandatory, yes. Email should be there. So whatever the fields are required, and you can mention data type. This is the text data type. This is the email. For email, they have provided separate data type called email. So this is the assignment you have to do. Create technical design document for an insurance company, Life Insurance Corporation of India, to create custom object policy with policy reference with the following 41 fields. I will send that document to you. That is off document. By seeing this document, I have mentioned at the end, document should contain serial number, field name, data everybody is there, right? I have lost a connection again. Here power cut is there. I hope everyone can hear me.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, you have to mention serial number, field name. You have to take Word document, prepare one table, field name, data type. Is it mandatory or not? If it is pick list, what values you want to put? So this is the first assignment you have to do. And the second assignment is, one engineering college has approached you. They want to create one Salesforce application. In that application, they want to accept applications for engineering college. If you want to join in engineering college, you have to enter few details. Here client is not giving any details. Here client has given 41 fields. But here client is not giving. He doesn't know what to put. They approached us and they asked, do you have any knowledge on engineering colleges domain? They said, okay, we have knowledge on engineering colleges. So they accept applications. Intermediate students has to apply for your engineering college. If they write MSET or if they don't write, they have these fields, these details they need to, engineering college need, so that student has to enter these details. We have idea on that. We can create fields for you. You can review it later. If any doubts are there, if you want additional fields or if you want to remove some fields, you can remove. That time think about what fields are required. What fields are required for a student, for a +12 student? He might write MSET engineering admission or not. To apply for admission into B.Tech.
Sir, please share the screen, sir.
Oh, sorry. I don't know. Oh, sorry. I have missed it. Into B.Tech. So that you can think what fields are required and what data types are required. And you have to have same approach. You need to have same approach, these columns. So to do this, you need to know about data types. We will see those data types, what they are providing now. Salesforce is providing 19 data types. We will see those data types. How we can create those fields also we will see. There are 3 ways to create fields. Like we have seen 3 ways to see object. In 3 ways, we can see objects.